we stopped when we are gonna locate point P in the first quadrant, so let's assume it's here, having the radius of 1. So this one will be x, and this one will be y. As its coordinates. So let's try to find this is 90 degrees here. So let's try to find signs of triangle. So if we start with sine theta being equal to opposite over hypotenuse, which is y over 1 being y, and we go to cosine of theta being equal to adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is x, and the hypotenuse y, to x, and tan of an angle being to opposite over adjacent, which is y over x, and all of them seem to be positive. All of them seem to be all positive in the first quadrant. So let's try to rotate point P in the second quadrant. So if this is the second quadrant and we locate it being here, and it has a radius of 1, being 90 degrees here. So here is x and this is y as its coordinates. So by finding sine this one is gonna be second quadrant. So sine theta is gonna be opposite over hypotenuse, which is y over 1, remaining as y, and cos of an angle, it will be adjacent over hypotenuse, which is x over 1, but this is a negative x because it is on a negative side of x-axis in the Cartesian plane, meaning here it will be negative, equal to negative x, and tan theta to be equal to opposite over adjacent, which will be y over a negative x because it is on the negative side of Cartesian plane, becoming negative y over x. So it means in the second quadrant we have got sine theta as only the positive ratio, others becoming negative. So let's try to locate it in the third quadrant, which will be, and if this is having a radius of 1, being this one the x-axis and this one the y-axis, so here it's gonna be flat. This one is gonna be third quadrant. So sine theta, if this is theta, sine theta is opposite over adjacent. So it's gonna be y over 1, but y is on a negative side of y-axis in the Cartesian plane, becoming negative here, becoming a negative y. Cos theta will be adjacent over hypotenuse, which is x over 1, but x is on the negative side of x-axis, becoming negative x here, also becoming a negative x here. Tan theta equal to opposite over adjacent, which is y over x, but both are at negative sides on the Cartesian plane, becoming negative here, but these negatives will cancel, becoming a positive y over positive x, meaning in a third quadrant only tangent ratio is the only positive ratio. So let's try to look at the fourth quadrant. And we locate our point B in the fourth quadrant. So if this is point P and having a unit radius of 1, so by y by x. So by sine theta to be sine theta, it will be opposite over adjacent, being y over the hypotenuse, which is 1, but y is on the negative side of the y-axis, becoming negative here, so becoming negative y. Cos theta as well to be adjacent over opposite, becoming x over 1, also becoming x. X is on the positive side of the x-axis, so tan theta will become opposite over adjacent, which is y over x, but y is on the negative side of y-axis, becoming negative y over x, meaning in the fourth quadrant, only cosine ratio is the only positive ratio. So if we try to summarize it in a table it will look like this for easy memorization. If we try to summarize it in a table, if we try this one be the quadrant, this one becoming range of an angle, this one becoming acute angle, and this one becoming nature of the sine. So it will be here the first quadrant, this one becoming the second quadrant, this one becoming the third quadrant, this one being the fourth, in the first quadrant it will be 0 degrees less or equal to theta, and theta is less or equal to 90 degrees. Second is 90 degrees less or equal to theta, and theta less or equal to 180. In third as well, 170. And 360. So the acute angle of theta, this one will remain as theta, and this one will become 180 minus theta, and this one becoming theta minus to be theta minus 180, and the last one to become 360 minus. And the nature of signs in the first quadrant all are positive. In the second quadrant we saw only sine. In the third we saw only tangent only. In fourth we saw only cosine being positive. And we come here and we summarize it as below. This becoming sine, cosine, and tangent. All they are positive in the first quadrant. Second, only the sine and others are negatives. In the third, sine is negative and tangent is the only positive. No. Cosine is negative and tangent is the only positive. And in the third, sine is negative, cosine is the only positive, and tangent is the negative. So that is a brief summary about quadrants and revolutions. So let's try to look at some examples from that.
We'll look at examples tomorrow. Examples tomorrow.
give us the question like.
Examples tomorrow.
So for the sake of time, we shall look at the example tomorrow. So let's try to go to what we call non-right angled triangles. So sorry for now, we are stopping at quadrants. We shall resume our work tomorrow at around 5 p.m. So try to be present so that we can complete trigonometry.
Which taratibu?